To be honest, when I got the phone call earlier saying Miss California 2019 would like to participate in your event, I said, this is a gritty, dirty, heart-wrenching subject, and why does a beauty queen want to come and hang out with us? And I've had the pleasure of talking to Erica this week and getting to know more about her, and I'm really happy to share with you that this mission, this advocacy for the unhoused, has an ally in Erica Dann. And in the modern era, beauty contest winners can't just do it on their looks, and Erica's no exception. She has a master's degree in international business and a bachelor's degree in political science and philosophy from the University of Florida. She's a San Francisco resident, and she volunteers regularly at Glide, helping serve the homeless. And as you might guess, she cares deeply about the homeless, and she's here today to share her passion on why she volunteers and what's important to her. So please give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that warm welcome and introduction. I appreciate it, Nelson. And what an honor to be standing here following Jeff, Paul, Manohar. I mean, these are incredible individuals who have are dedicating their lives to moving the needle on this major issue that's impacting our city of San Francisco, our state of California, and our entire nation. So thank you for your expertise and your just involvement every single day to make a difference and drive change. It's deeply appreciated and incredibly important, and inspires individuals like me to show up to want to make a difference as well and impact the community. So Nelson invited me here today to speak a little bit about what I am doing to become involved within the community and in the homelessness crisis and make a difference and really be an advocate for the cause as a young professional and someone who can hopefully reach many to inspire them to also become educated, aware, and active in helping contribute to this cause and to this major crisis that is impacting our city. So before I dive into speaking a bit more about myself and a little bit about my background, I'd love to hear from you all for a minute. And I'm curious, how many of you have volunteered, let's say, in the past month? Incredible, awesome. So what does that look like in practice? How are you getting involved in the community? I'm just curious if a few people can shout out what you're doing.
Taking food to the homeless.
Taking food to the homeless, great. Needle pickup, excellent. Yeah. There you go. Absolutely. Incredible. Incredible. These are just some of the amazing steps and pieces of involvement that need to happen and that we all need to take part in order to really, as a collective community, drive this mission forward to actually make a difference and drive change, right? And that's really the notion that I want to weave into is I think it's incredibly important that we all engage in this way to be able to take steps forward, right, to make a difference that will really allow for us to improve the community and the well-being of this issue. It's the needle pickup. It's taking food to the homeless. These are all steps that have to be taken. And for me, this notion of every individual being able to get actively involved and actively make a difference is what actually had me move into my chapter where I decided to compete for Miss California USA. So really what I wanted to do was hold myself accountable as an individual to ensure that I was getting involved in the community and with this cause that I care deeply about. So candidly, Miss California was my first competition I ever competed in. And I imagine I had many of these same stereotypes as you all sitting in this very room, I presume, when it comes to pageants and beauty queens and all that stuff. So I get it. And for me, really what drove me to want to get involved in this space was to get involved, was to make a difference, was to have a platform where I could reach many other people and inspire them to come on board and to get involved too, right? So that's really why I did it. So went through the process, first time ever, and I ended up, we talked about that. And I won. It was very surprising. It was totally not something I was expecting, being I just didn't know. You don't know what you don't know, and it was my first time competing. So that was incredible. And now that brings me to where I am today, where I feel very, very lucky to have a platform. I've used this word, but I have the ability to reach many individuals of all different ages, but also very, very many people in the young professionals community and population. I see many who are on that committee with the UNA specifically. And I've been able to speak with congresswomen, and men. I've been able to speak on a state capitol floor. I've been able to speak with different press organizations and reporters and really raise awareness and advocate for this cause. When I recently competed in Miss USA representing our great state of California, and when I returned, I had a letter from Nancy Pelosi, the congresswoman and Speaker of the House of Representatives, and she was thanking me for using my voice, and certainly don't need thanking, but for me it was a powerful moment because I was able to see the impact of actually using your voice and going out there. Even me, I mean, I'm not like one of you who's dedicated their lives and are really experts in this space. It's just about really caring about something and going out and putting yourself out there and showing up to make a difference, right? So that was a really powerful moment, and I hope to connect with her and pick some of your brains to bring some really important points to the table about what policy can really do to really further our progress with this obviously crisis that we're facing. So, in addition to Miss California, I also work at Google. And I've been there for about 4 years, and that's what brought me out to San Francisco in the first place. So while technology companies have done a lot of good across the world with advancing technology overall, there's also been some detrimental impacts that have occurred through techs, certainly in the Bay Area, given the high cost of housing and living, right? So for me, how I really feel I can advance my impact is becoming an intermediary between the private sector like tech and local government, and help to raise awareness to young professionals and all individuals as well, and fund initiatives like fast track affordable construction, permanent solution housing, right? Permanent supported housing, and Project Homeless Connect, right? These are just some examples of initiatives that the private sector, in my opinion, should be more accountable to contributing to, and it can be done in a more efficient and effective way. So I see myself playing that role, certainly during my time as Miss California and beyond that, right? So I think, just to conclude that point, I think it's imperative that young professionals and young individuals are actively involved in contributing to volunteering, fundraising, and just also bringing their companies and organizations along within this crisis overall. And that's something that I'm really standing behind, and I'm trying to certainly vocalize within our community. So when the rubber meets the road, it's really the work that our exhibitors, our nonprofit organizations, and all these folks in this room are doing every single day to show up and make a difference and help individuals who are suffering and who are homeless, who don't have homes, right? So I just want to commend all of you and just thank you deeply for your dedication and your tireless efforts to make a difference. I feel very, very lucky to work with an organization in this room, Glide. They've inspired me to really push the notion of the status quo of what we have here in our city when it comes to homelessness, and I feel lucky to volunteer actively with them with their daily free meals program in the kitchen, and also do fundraising efforts as well. So thank you, Glide. Thank you to all of the nonprofits and exhibitors present today. I'm deeply thankful for all that you do and what you represent, and I believe everyone else is as well. And so just bringing all of this to a close, I just want to share one quote that's always really resonated with me and inspired me. More pictures from Glide. So in a gentle way, you can shake the world. This is something that's always really it's become my philosophy in life, if you will. And it's what encouraged me to really just start these different endeavors and chapters and certainly when it comes to homelessness, becoming more actively involved through Glide and through different organizations. So I think it's a representation of how we all can make a difference, and that's really the message I'm trying to represent and drive home. Regardless of age, experience, different background, whatever it may be, we all can show up actively, and we can give our time and passion to a cause that we care about, and help make steps forward and help drive progress. So that's all for me. Thank you.